Hi Year 1 learners and welcome to Lesson 57. My name is Danielle. Thanks for joining me again. Now, you may have joined me in Lesson 56 where we discovered the difference between 2 and 3-dimensional shapes. Remember, 2-dimensional shapes have length and width. They are flat. And 3-dimensional shapes have height, width and depth. Now you may have done the home task. I'd like to share what I did. I'll turn to Lesson 56. So we went on a shape hunt and at my house I found a cup. It was a cylinder shape and the cup has a circle on it, so I drew the circle here. Then I looked at my toy box and I noticed that it had a rectangle shape on it. My building blocks were cubes and they had a square on them. How did you go? Our learning intention today is to recognise 2-dimensional shapes. Now, you may have seen my posters from last lesson. I'm going to review them again today. So this shape here is a square. It has 4 corners and 4 equal sides. This is a rectangle. It has 4 corners and 4 sides. The opposite sides are equal. This is a circle. It has 0 corners and 1 curved edge. What is this shape? This is a triangle. It has 3 corners and 3 sides. Now, do you remember the name of a 5-sided shape? 5 sides and 5 corners, we call it a pentagon. What about this one? It has 0 corners and 1 curved edge. It's an oval. Do you remember the name of a 6-sided shape with 6 corners? A hexagon. Now this shape had 4 corners and 4 sides, but remember 2 of these sides are leaning towards each other. They're diagonal. We call it a trapezium. What about this one? 4 corners, 4 equal sides. It's not a square though, a rhombus. And finally, with 8 corners and 8 sides, an octagon. Great job, everybody. Now, 2-dimensional shapes have corners and sides. A corner is a place or angle where 2 sides meet. Let's have a look at the picture. Here is the corner or the place where the 2 sides meet. And a side is a line on the boundary joining one corner to another. So there's the line joining one corner to another. Now, I have a game for us to play and it's called I Spy. Now, it's a little bit different to the way you might usually play I Spy. I'm going to say, I spy with my little eye something in the shape of A, and I'm going to pull the name of a shape out of this bag. Then you're going to help me find that shape in this picture and I'm going to trace over it. Are you ready? I spy with my little eye something in the shape of A. Do you know what this says? Rectangle. In this picture, can you see a rectangle? What do you think? I can see one. There's a few in this picture. I'm going to trace here. That's a rectangle. We know it's a rectangle because it has 2 shorter and 2 longer sides. Are you ready for the next one? I spy with my little eye something in the shape of a, what does that say? Triangle. Okay, in this picture, can you spy a triangle? I want you to point. Where is it? This one's a little bit harder to see. It's a little bit smaller. There's a few of them. Up towards the top. I can spy one right here. Did you see it? Well done. We know a triangle has 3 corners and 3 sides. Let's do another one. I spy with my little eye something in the shape of a circle. Okay, where in the picture can you find a circle? I want you to point to it now. Ooh, this one is also up the top of the picture. Is this the circle that you found? We know a circle has no corners and 1 curved edge. Let's try. I think there's one more in here. I spy with my little eye something in the shape of a square. Can you find a square in the picture? Point to it now. I can see a few. I'm going to do the smaller square that I see. Now we know that a square has 4 equal sides. I'm going to trace over this little square. Is that the one you found? You might like to pause the video now and have a closer look at the picture and see what other shapes you can find. Okay, now Lenny, I've heard that Mike needs a little bit of our help. I'm just going to pack this up and go and find him. I'll be back. Here's Mike. Now, Mike Meerkat wants to open a shape shop, but he has a problem. He doesn't know much about them. He needs our help. Now, I have a story that is written by one of my wonderful friends who's an author, Ebony. Now, I'd like to read it to you, and hopefully, Mike, it helps you learn a little bit more about 2-dimensional shapes. Are you ready? It's called The Wonderful World of Shapes by Ebony. There are many shapes in our world. We see them everywhere we go. On a house, on a street sign, on a letterbox, and many more places. What shapes can you see in your world? I can see some in the pictures. Some shapes can be described as 2-dimensional. Remember, they have length and width. There are corners on a 2-dimensional shape. A corner is a place or angle where 2 sides meet. Now this shape has 4 corners. There are sides on 2-dimensional shapes. A side is the line on the boundary joining one corner to another. So how many sides on this shape? That's right, 4. I hope this is helping, Mike. 2-dimensional shapes are flat and can't be picked up. See? Can I pick this up? No. 2-dimensional shapes can be seen on the faces of objects, in drawings, images, and in the environment. There are lots of shapes here. 2-dimensional shapes have sides, that can be straight or curved. Two-dimensional shapes can have a name. Do you know the names of these shapes? Say it with me. Square, triangle, circle, rectangle. There are many interesting shapes all around us. What two-dimensional shapes can you see in your world? So, what do you think, Mike? Was that book helpful? I hope so. Now, in this bag, I have some pictures, and some of the shapes in the pictures follow the rules of a two-dimensional shape, and some do not. Let's use what we know about two-dimensional shapes and sort them. Let's see what's in here. Okay, going to spread them all out. Okay, so we know that two-dimensional shapes have corners and sides. Let's take a look at these. Now, this shape has 3 corners and 3 sides. It's a two-dimensional shape. I'm going to put that here. Let's take a look at another. Now, this one here, I can see some corners and sides, but there's no side here. It's not joining. So that doesn't follow the rules. I'm going to put that over here. What about this one? I can see 3 corners and 3 sides. That's a two-dimensional shape. What about this one? 1, 2, 3. There are the corners. Here are the sides. It's a two-dimensional shape. Now, this one here, I can see the corners and the sides, but they're not joining. The side isn't joining to the other, so that's not following the rules. Let's put that over here. So we have 2 left. One of them is a two-dimensional shape and one is not. Which one do you think is a two-dimensional shape? Did you say this one? Yeah, this one has sides and corners. And this one here, the sides are overlapping. Let's put that here. Thanks for your help, everybody. Now, you can see in these two-dimensional shapes, the corner is where the 2 sides are meeting, just like we've learnt. And in these ones, they are not. Now, you can see in these ones, the corner is a place where the 2 sides are meeting. But in these ones, it's not happening. Now that we know these shapes are two-dimensional, let's have a closer look at them. I'm going to move these ones out the way. So, what shape is this? You might have seen this a lot before. It's a triangle. But what happens if I turn it like this? What shape is it now? It's still a triangle, isn't it? It has 3 corners and 3 sides. What shapes are these? They look a little bit different to this. So they still have 3 corners and 3 sides, but even though the corners look a little bit different, they are still triangles. Now, I'm going to pack this up and we're going to play one more game. Okay, now this is a memory game, and what we are going to do is I'm going to turn all the cards over and we are going to try and match the name of the shape to the picture of the shape. Now you'll notice that the names of the shape are on pink cards and the picture of the shapes are on maroon. So we need to try and match a pink to a maroon card. Can you help? Firstly, I'm going to turn them all over and spread them out so we can play. Here we go. And Oh, and this one's going to go right here. Okay, so I'm going to turn over 2 cards and try and find the match. Are you ready? Okay, let's start with this one. Oh, what shape is that? What do you think? We're trying to find the name of it. Is it a decagon? No. Let's try again. Is it a triangle? No. It's not a trapezium. Is it a rectangle? Yes, that's a match. I'm going to put them there. Let's try and find another pair. Ooh, do you know what the name of that shape is? I remembered. It's a trapezium. Let's put that down. Okay, which picture will be next? Oh, let's count the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do you call a shape with 5 sides? Let's see. Is it a triangle? No. Is it a hexagon? No, it sounds like hexagon, but it's not an octagon. It's a pentagon. Let's put that here. Okay, let's move this here and let's find our next pair. Oh, how many sides here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow, that's a lot of sides. I wonder what you call a shape with 10 sides. It's not a triangle. It's not a circle. I wonder, it's not an octagon. That's right, it's a decagon. Let's put those here. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's check the corners this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 corners. Okay, I'm going to try this one. Oh, 6 corners and 6 sides is a hexagon. Well done, there's only a few pairs left. Okay, let's turn over the picture. Now, do I remember? I know that's a circle. Where was that? Was it this one? No, triangle. Not an octagon. It must be this one. Circle. Let's put that there. We're nearly there. Let's turn over this one. Oh, what do we call that? 3 sides. It must be a triangle. Now I know that these 2 must be a match. They're the only 2 left. How many sides does an octagon have? 8. Well done, everybody. So we matched the 2-dimensional shape to its name. We found circle, triangle, octagon, rectangle, trapezium, pentagon, decagon, and hexagon. Now your home task is to have a go at making your own memory game where you match a shape to its name. You could use paper or card or anything that you have at home. When someone is available, they could play your memory game with you. In this lesson, we learned that 2-dimensional shapes have corners and sides. We know that the name of the shape doesn't change if it is turned. Good luck with your shape shop, Mike. Thanks for joining me, everybody. I'll see you next time.